Hey, real talk before you even think about specs or benchmarks. The first time I fired up the Thermaltake Versa i570S, I didn't rush into a stress test or a fancy benchmark. I just opened multiple apps, launched a heavy game, and watched everything load instantly. No hesitation, no stutter, just smooth, reliable power. And that's when I knew my old rig was holding me back more than I realized. This is for the kind of person who's done with compromise, someone who's felt the frustration of dropped frames, half-hearted load times, or systems that start strong but buckle under pressure. You're tired of bottlenecks, toggling between performance and stability, and always making sacrifices. You want a machine that respects your time and energy, not fights with it. Before we go deeper, take a moment to check the current price and availability. Systems this capable don't stick around when people start realizing what they actually deliver. You knew it was time to upgrade when your current setup started negotiating with you: lower graphics to stay playable, close background apps to stay responsive, accept delays as normal. I remember staring at loading bars that should have been instant, thinking this isn't how performance is meant to feel. That's the tipping point, when you realize your gear shouldn't hold you back anymore. The first session with this desktop was like lifting a fog. The Intel Core i9-14900KF didn't just run tasks, it handled them with confidence. Heavy workloads that used to make me wince felt effortless. The RTX 5070's visuals stayed fluid and detailed without hesitation. 32 GB of blazing DDR5 meant multitasking wasn't juggling, it was just working. And with a 1 TB NVMe drive, load screens weren't stops. They were forgotten steps. I used this system the way you actually would: long gaming sessions where frame rates stayed locked instead of dipping, creative work where render times shrank instead of dragging, intense multitasking where nothing froze or fought for resources, and day-to-day use where everything finally felt responsive. Even routine tasks felt sharper because nothing was waiting in the background. It's not about chasing numbers, it's the feeling of control. Once you feel performance that doesn't stall or flinch under pressure, anything less starts to feel like self-limitation. So here's the push you actually need: don't wait for the perfect timing. Stock changes. Prices move. And the regret of waiting always shows up when your current setup slows you down yet again. You might wonder if this level of power is overkill. That doubt vanishes the moment you see how composed and consistent it is: performance that stays cool, poised, and ready, not wild or chaotic. Here's the surprise most people don't expect: peace of mind. You stop thinking about throttling or lag. You just do. Owning this feels decisive. Games feel smooth, not strained. Workflows feel fast, not sluggish. Multitasking feels seamless, not messy. Daily use feels premium, not compromised. If I'm honest, high-end desktops do demand thoughtful placement. And serious performance calls for a serious choice. But at some point, you stop cycling through comparisons and just pick the system you already wanted, because every time you consider something weaker, you come back to that feeling of yes, that's the performance I was chasing. Don't let this be the upgrade you delay and later think about every time your current rig slows you down. If you're ready for a desktop that finally keeps up with how you live, play, and create, check the Thermaltake LCGS Versa i570S now and make that confident step forward you've been waiting for.